present by being here and acting with civil disobedience just as he did 2,000 years ago?
Let's whip some patroness!
Woo! Together we can stop the Fed banksters and save our children from a hellish future. It won't be easy, but we are changed. We are fed up. Let us join together to begin the slam the scam and end the Fed banksters' reign now. One more thing. We've already... World War I, they told us it was the war to end all wars. And I can tell you that it didn't get the green light until the Fed had been passed into Congress and made law, because there wasn't enough money to finance England and the Allies. They didn't have enough money to fight the war, as John has told you. It was only after the creation of the Fed that they could do it. They told us it was the war to end all wars, but what have we had since? Perpetual war, haven't we?
Yes!
Yeah, we've been at war.
All right.
Since 2001. I'm ready anyway. 13 years.
Now, were they fighting a war to end all wars, or were they fighting a war to perpetuate another one, another and another, and fraud after fraud, money debt after money debt, etc.? Of course they were, decade after decade. Well, citizens of the world, what if they wanted another war and another economic collapse, but they couldn't force fraud you or me to pay for it anymore? Isn't this the war to end all wars? Our fighting that?
Yeah!
Soldiers everywhere who fight for peace, this is your war to end all war. Politicians who truly seek a better world, this is your war to end all wars. Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, atheists, and everyone else, we are brothers, we are sisters. This is your war to end all wars. And let us be strong, let us not give up, let us fight it till we win in victory to the bitter end. Black, white, yellow, red, green, straight, gay, or purple. This is your war to end all war. Americans, Asians, Europeans, Africans, Australians, Antarcticans, I don't care. This is your war to end all war. Those of you who are New World Order collaborators of the fraudulent Fed system, this is your war to save your soul from scathing sorrow and emptiness, oblivion. This too is your war to end all war, where we all win if we win, even you. Hear us clearly. As the media collusion, the only difference between sin and spin is that you have to add P to make spin. Okay. We're not going to fight this war the way with their weapons, because we fight not against flesh and blood, we fight against principalities and powers, wicked spirits, spiritual wickedness in high places. These guys are lost, they're sick. You don't hate your computer when it's got a virus. They've got psychoviruses that make them the way they are. We just fix it or quarantine them or work on them until they can change. We love our enemy, we quarantine them, we give them tough love when it's required. We don't hate them. We're not going to be like them. We're going to march peacefully and change. Right?
Yes.
Absolute power does not corrupt absolutely, it can't. It is the arrogant illusion of absolute power that corrupts recklessly toward oblivion. Let us send all their funny money debt back to them and introduce real money. You know, 100% backed gold or silver, Bitcoin, greenbacks. Let the people decide. Let the people make it work, not them. All right, so now it's time for the Jericho March. Let me tell you how this works.
1 second, we want to chant.
Will, we are going to chant.
Well, we're going on the thing now, right?
We're going to march and we're going to chant.
Oh, cool.
Now in Jericho, in ancient Jericho, they marched 7 times around the city. The Israelites marched 7 times around the city, and they blew their horns, and then they shouted to the sky. This is the New Testament. We're not about to do what they did, invade a city and bring it down. We're not violent. What we are going to do, with your support, is we're going to march 3 times around it, symbolically of the Trinity, God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, or you can look at it, man, Mother, Father, Son, or child, or love, truth, and life. Whatever Trinity you want to use, it's all the same. I want you to do something when we do this too. We're going to try an experiment. We're going to talk about it afterwards. You want to stay behind. This could be very powerful. You see, we've had 100 years of fraud. 100 years of suffering. I want you to think back of the stories that your grandparents told you and about them and their great-grandparents. Back tonight, or people that you've read about or you've heard about. We're going to take this one side of the street, you know, one side of the building or the street for each decade. So like 1913 to 1923. Think about all the people who suffered because of the wars they created in World War I, the millions that died. 1923 to 1933, from Mission and whatever this is to Mission and that street. Think about the Roaring 20s, the fraud that occurred, the multiple mini boom and bust that killed the livelihood of farmers, had them lose their land as the speculation went wild on Wall Street and money was stolen out of the bank's gold and sent over to England. And that side will be 1933 to 1943. Think about your families. What happened during the during the Depression that these guys created and cleaned up on for their companies and their banks and ownership of America? 1943 to 1953, we're back here. Think about World War II. How many millions lost their lives? They funded both sides. 1953, is it 63? Think about, or even a little before that, the Korean War. What happened in the 50s? 63 to 73. Vietnam War. 73 to 83, it was a Grenada. Panama happened. Two presidents of Panama and Ecuador assassinated. Plane crashes, fire in the plane, explosions. They wouldn't cooperate with the economic hitmen. John Perkins refers to the people who deal with them as jackals. Okay. 83 to 93, 93 to 2003, you know about the Gulf War, and then the other wars, 2003 to 2013. Now when we get to 2013, we have 2 more legs. The first one, think about the next 20 years as you walk, and think about what's the worst case scenario that's going to happen to us if we do nothing. If the NSA keeps growing, if we keep losing our freedoms. And the last leg, think about what happens if we do something about this in the next 20 years. What kind of freedom are we going to have for our kids? See how worthwhile it is. And when we're done, I'll raise the horn, you raise your voices, we blow the horns, and we say freedom and all sorts of good stuff. Are you up for it? Yeah. And after that, I want you to share your experiences of all the, maybe your ancestors will speak to you. You'll feel the pain they went through. You'll think about it. Let's digest what everybody's really been through in the last 100 years. All right.
Down with phony money control.